dPOS, which is actually integral part of the system. And based on conversations that we've had, questions that have been asked by many members of the community in the last few days, it is very clear that we need to talk about this particular tool and we need to bring it to the fore so that everyone knows how to use it and everyone can begin to use it. Now, why is it important? It's important because we all know that in many countries within continental Africa, as much as 91% of people do not have access. They don't have a bank card. They are not able to participate in the new digital economy effectively and efficiently without incurring too much cost. That's one of the things we want to change. And therefore, we have to make sure that we are bearing in mind those people who have a smartphone who can obviously come online and access their account and push payments to other members of the community. But also we understand that there is a fragment or a proportion of members of our community who do not have a phone at all. Even those people cannot be left out. They can still have their account. They can still make payments without a phone and without internet of their own. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through that and see how one member of the community or a merchant, a restaurant, anybody who is selling something to anybody else or who wants to collect a payment from anybody else within the community, how that can be done using the digital point of sale. We call it the digital point of sale, but that name might change at any time. But for now, that's what we refer to it. So if you hear about dPOS, then we are talking about the digital point of sale. And that's what we're going to go through this evening. So welcome and welcome everyone. Brother B, can you hear me? Are you on? Do you want to add anything before we start?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you clearly. And thank you guys so much for making it this evening. And the introduction is sound, as Dr. Linus just indicated. This tool that has, we have it in the system. It's been in the system for a long time, but part of the focus of this year has been activations, increase of expanding the base of the membership across countries and transactions. So the first part was about reactivation, activations, and all of that. And there's a whole lot of things that we have been discussing about activations. The next key area is the expansion of the membership. So getting new members to register, getting new people to come on board the platform. The third leg of what we are looking at for the year is transactions. And for transactions to happen, we need to have the right tools that are able to help people to do transactions in a seamless, simple, but practical manner. So that's why we've had a few members even during the daily briefing asking the question, how do I collect the payment? Where do I go to collect the payment? And things like that. That's why we've decided to bring the dPOS to the fore and make it available and ready off your phone. The first icon is the dPOS. You are able to click onto it, go into it, and immediately you get in, you are able to access a payment. So yeah, so that's just one of the three key legs of this year. We should not forget what the three legs are. The first one is activations. The second one is expanding the membership base. And the third one is transactions. And under those headings, we have a number of things, and we've been discussing a number of things around them through the year. And as we progress through the year, you would see that everything that we come and talk about would fall within those 3 areas. So thank you very much. I think, Dr. Linus, we can go into it right now.
Okay, very good. If I may, actually, it just occurred to me that perhaps it would be a good idea to show that diagram, the diagram that we normally use to explain the traditional way of accessing financial services versus the new open digital ecosystem that we believe is the answer to the challenges that are facing the continent of Africa. So if you would just bear with me, I know it's another delay, it just occurred to me that within the context of what we are talking about today, it would be a very good idea to show that. Brother Mbi, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. Perhaps if you want to talk about anything else, you can do that while I look for that diagram. It's just a simple diagram, but I believe I should show it. Thank you.
All right. So in the meantime, as I indicated, yesterday, for example, which is quite recent, we had one of the questions we got from the floor was from Sister Emma, who has already been actively receiving payments in Lumi at her restaurant in Nairobi, in Kenya. And she asked a very straight and direct question, which is what we are going to discuss today. In fact, we spoke about the different tools, but we have had the pause in the system from the start. We thought it wise that since we are focused on that leg, the transaction leg at the moment, we should also bring the element of the pause to the fore. So, so that is what we are going to look at this evening. We have a lot of our members also who do not understand English very well. I'm just going to take a few minutes to explain to them what we are talking about this evening. Donc, bonsoir à tout le monde, bonsoir à tous ceux qui d'expression francophone qui sont dans la réunion aujourd'hui. Donc, ce que nous sommes en train de parler aujourd'hui, c'est un nouveau outil que nous avons présentement sur la plateforme qui va faciliter les paiements et les demandes de paiement. Donc, si quelqu'un vient dans votre boutique, il doit vous payer soit en Lumi ou en monnaie locale. Vous pouvez récupérer ce paiement avec cet outil. Vous allez voir sur vos téléphones, sur vos laptops, que quand vous entrez sur la plateforme, vous allez voir un nouveau icône qui est disponible maintenant. Et cette icône, c'est ce qui va vous diriger pour entrer dans cet outil qui va vous permettre à demander les paiements et à faire les paiements aux membres de la communauté. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire que tout le monde qui est membre de notre communauté a déjà un outil qu'il peut utiliser à vendre ses produits. Okay? Nous avons la plateforme, mais nous avons aussi un outil de collecte de paiement. Et nous avons un outil avec lequel on peut payer les gens directement. Si on doit payer pour un produit ou pour un service. Okay? Donc voilà. Dr. Linus, have you found the diagram?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Okay. Donc voici là où nous sommes. Vous allez constater que le nom que nous avons sur ça, quand vous entendez dPOS, on parle de cet outil-là. Et cet outil est disponible et c'est disponible pour tous les membres, soit pour faire un paiement à un autre membre pour un produit ou pour un service, ou bien pour demander le paiement. OK. Donc, nous allons entrer sur la plateforme pour en parler.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Brother Mbi. Now, as a constant reminder, this is about inclusive digital finance and economic transformation. These are some of the presentations that we've given before, and it just caught my attention that we need to talk about this particular diagram. I hope everyone can see it very clearly. Now, the traditional way of accessing services, or particularly financial services, is that this is the old way, that you have financial institutions, banks, which have been around for generations. They are set up across branches. That is changing now, as many are embracing the digital ecosystem in order to access and deliver services to customers. But typically, they have a core banking technology, which they use to manage accounts primarily. And within that is integrated some kind of payment technology, which enables the movement of money from one account to another. This typically comes with some kind of authentication mechanism. It may be in real time. It may take time. There may be a delay involved. There may be settlement delay involved. But nonetheless, the payment technology usually enables the exchange of value. The traditional way that many of us know is that when you have money in your bank, then the bank will give you what is called a bank card. This is today become either Visa or MasterCard or Amex or any other locally issued cards. In Nigeria, there is a Verve card, and you'd have local cards in many countries within continental Africa. Typically, those local cards only work in the country in which they are issued. They wouldn't work elsewhere in the vast majority of cases. In some cases, they may work in other countries, depending on the arrangement. And then you would have the merchant who would have another device, which is what we have all come to call the POS device. And that POS device allows you to swipe your card on it, or to touch your card on it, where it's touch and go or touch and pay, and so forth. And it is at that point that there is the exchange of value between the individual that is paying a merchant and the merchant that is receiving the payments. So typically, an individual would not go to a bank and ask for a POS. That's why you can't use your card to pay somebody else who has a card. You can only use your card to pay somebody else on either a POS device, or to make a purchase online and pay with your card, or you do a bank-to-bank transfer if you have access to online banking. And your bank enables you to make those transfers. So that is traditionally how it works. In the vast majority of cases, the merchant actually does not get their money immediately. The merchant typically waits a day or two in some cases after they have actually undertaken or executed the sale. So a customer walks in, swipes their card, the POS shows that the transaction has been approved, and then the merchant gives the product to the customer and the customer walks away. But what most people don't understand is that, or what they don't know is that, the merchant typically has to wait a few days for the money to be transferred into their own bank account from the acquiring bank that issued the merchant with the POS on which we swipe our cards. Now, we all know that this mechanism and this ecosystem and this way of accessing services today remains a challenge to many of our people. We all know that even today, up to 91% of people in many countries within continental Africa do not have a bank card. Therefore, they cannot participate in this ecosystem where they have to rely on an instrument, i.e. a bank card that is issued by a bank in order to make electronic payments. But we cannot wait for the day that the banks open up and decide to issue everyone a card. We have to find solutions today that address the problem of exclusion so that those people who have been excluded for generations at least can also be part of a community-based ecosystem where they can exchange value with each other. And so what is the answer? What is the new way? The new way is to have an open ecosystem. And sometimes when we talk about SWIFT, this is what we're referring to. It is an open ecosystem where banks, corporates, institutions, merchants, individuals, kingdoms, governments can all come within this open ecosystem and continue to do what they have been able to do before. For example, a bank that comes onto this ecosystem can continue to manage the accounts for their customers in their local currency, but within the ecosystem. What that means is that if you have two banks, Bank A and Bank B, that both come onto the ecosystem, then the customers of Bank A and the customers of Bank B, because they are all now part of the open transaction ecosystem, they should be able to actually exchange value with each other directly. So sometimes people ask the question, is what we are doing against the banks? No, it is not. It is actually to provide a solution or an ecosystem that even banks and other financial institutions can leverage on in order to access more customers and deliver a better service experience to those customers wherever the customers are. What that means is that today, within that open ecosystem, a financial institution that would have ordinarily relied on their branch network to access customers can now reach customers where they don't have a branch. Today, because of that ecosystem, it means that a customer of Bank A can actually walk into Bank B and get service as though their account is actually held with Bank, that is a customer of Bank A can walk into Bank B and get service as though their account is held with Bank B. Because of that open transaction ecosystem, which provides the possibility for everyone to transact with each other within the ecosystem or within the community in real time. What that means is that for a merchant that is participating in this open ecosystem, they can receive a payment in 1 second, and a second later, they can pay their supplier in order to restock, because that ecosystem enables real-time settlement of transactions between all members of the ecosystem in real time, no matter where they are, no matter where their base institution is. And that's why we talk about the fact that when we are rolling out local currency services in some countries or in any country, we would still rely on the services of a local financial institution that will bring those customers on board, or at the very least come on board so that existing customers can begin to access their services. It is a very powerful concept. At the same time, it is a concept that some people might struggle with, but that is the reality. Now, what it means is that within this ecosystem, institutions can manage accounts. Because you have integrated technology to transfer value from one person to another, it means that payment technology is integrated within that ecosystem. It is not something that is separate from the actual technology platform itself. It is integrated. What that also means is that for the first time, you don't actually need a payment device in order to exchange value. What that means is that for a merchant, you no longer need a POS device sitting on your desk. And for the customer, you no longer need a card. Actually, you no longer need a card in order to make a payment. But the question that people sometimes have asked is, but what if I don't have a phone? Well, you don't need a phone. I mean, that might actually sound difficult or counterintuitive because it's an account that's online and we are saying create your account and you need to use your phone to access it. But when you create that account, it's not actually sitting in your phone. It is sitting in a vast array of computers that are there to secure that account, and then you can access it anytime you want. And by issuing instructions to those set of computers, you can transfer value from one account to another, i.e. from your own account to somebody else's account. In fact, you don't need a card. You don't even need a mobile phone of your own. You don't need internet. All you need is to be able to walk up to a merchant that has activated their dPOS, their digital point of sale. And then all you have to do is enter your SWIFT ID and your password, and you can process a payment to that merchant, collect your goods or your service, and walk away. What does that look like? Say I walk into a barber, and the barber has this POS. I don't have a phone. I don't have a card. The barber will present the POS to me. I will enter my SWIFT ID. I will enter my password. The barber will specify the amount, or I can specify the amount of my haircut myself, and I can submit. That payment is done instantly in real time. The barber can actually use it to buy a hair clipper from somebody else who is willing and able to supply that hair clipper to them and receive a payment within the same ecosystem in real time. That's how powerful it is. So that's why we are saying that this is about economic transformation and economic empowerment, to give a generation of people access to technology and tools that they can use today to access services in a way that they have never been able to do before. Now, of course, this is based on you being present and face-to-face with the merchant. So, in the same way that you would have to be face-to-face with the merchant in order to use your bank card. But if you are not face-to-face, okay, and you are doing the transaction remotely, then you can still go and log into your account remotely using any source of internet that you have or a computer that is connected to the internet and still do your transactions. So you realize that this is truly an ecosystem that is intended to be fully inclusive and create the opportunity for the first time for no one to be left out, but empowering every member of the community to actually transact, empowering every member to collect payments efficiently, empowering every member to start their business and be confident that they can collect payments from the members in an efficient manner. So that's why I thought I'd bring this diagram up and talk through it, because it really provides the context and it lays out very clearly the difference between the ecosystem or the infrastructure that has led to the exclusion of 1.7 billion people around the world versus the new ecosystem of open transaction, of an open transaction exchange, which is really what we are pushing as a community and want every member to join that ecosystem so that we can begin to exchange value in real time and drive trade and drive business and drive prosperity for everyone. So no one actually gets left out. Okay, so I am now going to go to what it looks like to use a POS within this ecosystem. where you don't need a card, you don't need a phone of your own, you don't even need internet of your own. You can just walk up to a merchant, enter your ID and your password, and do your transaction. That's how innovative it is. But we have made it really simple. So let's get straight into it. What I have.
Dr. Linus.
Yes.
One other very important element is the fact that someone could easily say, okay, I don't remember my SWIFT ID. I don't remember my account number. So what needs to happen in that case is you put in your name as it appears in the account, and your account details will come up.
Exactly. Exactly. So we have thought of the idea that, well, if people don't remember their 16-digit number, perhaps we can introduce a mechanism where we can print that number on a card with their photo ID, with their photo on it, and some other identifier, so that they can carry that card with them, and so they know their SWIFT number, which is a 16-digit number, the same as you would have the number on a credit card, for example. But you don't really need it, because you have your name and you know your name, and most people know their names. The only real advantage is that for a merchant, it might be better to convert that number into a QR code, for example, that the merchant can scan very easily to identify you. So you don't have to type your name and you don't have to type your number either. And if that QR code is then printed on the back of the card, then there may be some merit in printing the card someday in the future with the QR code on it, so that that becomes your de facto payment card. But the bottom line is you don't need it. And when we introduce that kind of thing, we have to think of something else. And that is the logistics of reaching every household and delivering a physically printed card or physically manufactured card. That, of course, also comes at extra cost to members of the ecosystem. And so it is something we have to consider and look at in due time and in future on its merits. But today we want to show you that you don't actually need that. That if people really want it, we can arrange for it to be produced, and people can then pay to cover the production cost so that they can carry it with them. But really, you don't need it. And that's what we're going to show you today. Okay, so I'm going to go to, so first things first, if you go, it all starts with connect. So you'll go to connect.swiffen.com, and it takes you right there. Now, this is the button, which is now, and it's a much larger button with a highlight around it, so you can't miss it. You would find this button in 3 places. On the home page, as you can see here. Also, if you are using a computer, then you might find it on the top right-hand corner on the sidebar. Okay, and if you go very quickly to the bottom of the page, you will also find it just below this recently active members here. And whichever way you start, all you need to do is click on it. So you can click on it here. You can click on it here, or you can click on it here. Now, when you click on it, it should immediately and almost instantly open this page. That is the place where you have to log in. You have to enter your SWIFT ID and your password to log in. The same password that you would use to log into your SWIFT account. That is the same password that you would use to log into your POS. And there is an immediate, very important observation here. In the traditional world, the customers and the merchants are treated differently, in the sense that the merchant needs an acquiring service through an acquiring bank, which will issue the merchant with a POS device. But here we are saying, if you are a member of the ecosystem, then you are empowered to do what you need to do within the ecosystem by being able to pay others and being able to collect payments instantly at the same time. You don't need any other further special consideration to do that. So I'm going to now log in. So you go to, I've put my fingerprint. They have saved my details already, so I just log in. And once you log in, it takes you to this page where you simply have to enter the amount you want to collect. And please note here that it says receive payment. So the person who is receiving payment, that payment is going to the person who is logged into the system, or that is logged into the digital point of sale, the dPOS. You enter the amount that you want to collect, say that is one lumi, and then you have to enter the payer. Here, you can put the SWIFT ID of the person that is paying, or if they don't remember their SWIFT ID, you can simply just enter their name. But if I may ask, is there anybody in the audience who knows their SWIFT ID so we can use that as a demo, please? I will send you I'll send you two times the amount you pay. I'll send it back to you. Double.
49.
49.
05. 18. 43. 76.
That's Emma. That's enough.
Yes.
That's Emma Okwisa. So take a look. So let's say that Emma could not remember the number. That's actually okay. It's not a problem. I can simply just come in here and type Emma, and the number would immediately, instantly come up. And then please remember, the password here is not your own password, but the password for Emma, who is making the payment. Now, unfortunately, Emma cannot put her password and she cannot give me her password. So I actually can't use this to collect the payment remotely from Emma. What I can do though is send Emma an invoice, and that is something else we'll cover another time. Okay, but let's say Emma was present and this was in her restaurant and she was collecting a payment from a customer. Then this is then this is where the customer who is paying, i.e. Emma, the payer, would put their username, their password. So the merchant or the customer will simply hand your phone to Emma, and Emma would secretly and privately enter the password and then submit, okay? Just to show you how this might work, I am going to try and I'll stop sharing my screen for a minute, and I will enter a password to another account and then show you how that works. So just so that I'm not sharing private information to everyone. Just one second. But on the same page, before I go there, on the same page, if I wanted to pay Emma, then I can also do this. I can, I can also log into my POS and I can make a payment from the POS. To do that, I just click on pay instead. So now the payment is make a payment, and it is coming from me. The amount I promised I will send to, and then the name is Emma. I can just put the name there. Let's see if that comes up. Emma?
49.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. there you go. It's come up. It's come up. So all I have to do here is submit, and that payment is done. It's that quick. So it's from me, that's my number, to Emma, and the amount is that. Now you can take a look at the history instantly where you are, okay? If it's a payment, it will show a negative. If it's a money that has come in, then it will show you the positive. If you want to print a receipt for a customer, you can just print there, and you can print the receipt and give to the customer. If your device is connected to a printer, okay, you can actually print a receipt from here. I think I've mistakenly closed that window, but I can log in again here. That's it. I can look at the history, and that's it. You can see it from here. All right. But just to show you, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I will put a username and password, and I will show the payment process. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to just find an account where I can, I will actually be able to complete the payment by entering the password. Just 1 sec. So I'm going to click on receive. I'm going to enter a name. I'm just entering the details. Enter a name. I'm going to put the amount that I want to receive, and I'm going to try and enter a password. Okay. Now, I hope the password is correct. If the password is correct, then it will work. If the password is not correct, then of course it will not work. Okay. So I hope you can all see my screen. I have put a name. The account has come up, and I've put a password. That password is for this account. That is the payer. Okay. So at this point, the payer is the one who will click submit. After checking the amount, they will simply click submit. And if the password that was entered was correct, then really that payment should be done. And it has been done. Okay. But if the password is not correct, and let me now try and receive a payment with the wrong password. Okay. Again, the payer that I put in was Delphine Ntube, and that's the account number. If I want to receive 100 Lumi, and I put a password that is completely incorrect and submit, hopefully that should not work. It says password invalid. Okay, so that should not work. And so the payment has to be by the person who is, if I put, let me put 15 now, and I'll stop sharing my screen and put the correct password so that you can see that it going through one more time. I'll put the correct password, and then I'll share my screen again. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen now. So the number is there. The name is there, you can see it. If you really want, you can ask the person to show you their ID card so that you can check the name against their ID card that they can present to you. And that way, you know, you are dealing with exactly the person whose name is shown, and you have proof of that name on the ID card that they can deliver to you. All right. They would enter their password and then just click submit, and the payment will be complete. That payment is done. Now we can look at the history instantly. You can see that that is the last payment that just came in, and so forth. Okay, at that particular time, that's from that particular account. And that's how that works. And remember, the customer no longer really needs a phone on their own, or internet for that matter, to use the POS. Anyone can now receive a payment from other members of the community by putting their details in. Now, there is an important thing to bear in mind, and that is, what if the account that you're using is I'm trying to look at the ZOF because we've done the local currency implementation in Senegal. So if we were to log in with an account that is from Senegal, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and just look for a test account in Senegal and log in with that so that you can see the difference. At that point, the customer should be able to choose what payment they are making, whether they want to make the payment in Lumi or whether they want to make the payment in ZOF. Okay, so one more, please excuse me one more time. I will stop sharing my screen again, and I will just look for a ZOF account that I can use to log in with. Just bear with me. Let me look for that. Just 1 second, please. Sorry, I'm still looking for unless there is somebody in the audience from Senegal who can share their screen and log into the POS. That will save me looking for a test account for Senegal. Brother B?
Yeah, maybe we should we should do that with Tieno.
Is Tieno able to log in and share his screen?
Tieno, vous êtes là?
Allô? Oui, je suis là, je suis là.
Ok, vous pouvez partager votre écran, comme ça on peut effectuer le paiement avec le dPOS, avec votre dPOS au Sénégal. Comme ça, on peut montrer comment accéder avec, avec la monnaie locale. C'est possible?
D'accord, oui.
Ok. So in this case, it's going to be on local, you know, a local currency payment, but it gives you the possibility to be able to select. Pas là-bas. Va sur Home.
Home, ok, j'ai cliqué.
Ouais, Home. Comme ça, c'est direct, c'est rapide. Tu te rappelles de ton mot de passe agent, non?
Oui.
Il faut, si tu n'as pas ça, il faut chercher. Comme ça, tu peux utiliser ça pour accéder.
D'accord.
Donc, avec ça, on peut effectuer le paiement. On peut aussi demander le paiement dans nos boutiques, si on vend quelque chose ou on veut payer quelque chose rapidement.
D'accord.
Allez, c'est en haut, OK?
Oui.
Cliquez là-dessus. Vous avez cliqué.
Ok, ça va.
OK, ça vient. OK. Maintenant,
Oui.
pour vous entrez votre numéro de compte agent et le mot de passe.
D'accord. Là. Ouais.
Je peux vous donner, hein, parce que je pense que vous avez votre numéro de compte.
Oui, c'est là.
Ah, vous avez.
Ouais. Et où, là, oui. Oui.
OK.
Mhm.
Allez, vous êtes dedans. Donc, Dr. Linus, we can continue from here.
Okay.
Donc, ce que nous voulons montrer, c'est que
Mhm.
vous avez une possibilité. Donc, prenons de mettre le nom de Alassane, par exemple. Goudiaby.
Oui.
Oui. Il
Ah,
faut mettre
ça,
son nom. Oui, mets le nom d'Alassane. Pas là-bas, en bas, vous allez voir non. Oui, là-bas. Comme
c'est
vous
Goudiaby.
n'avez
C'est
pas.
Goudiaby.
Oui, c'est Goudiaby.
Goudiaby. Ah, là. Ah. Est-ce que c'est ça? C'est pas ça?
C'est pas ça.
Non, c'est pas ça.
C'est pas ça. Donc,
Parce qu'il faut aussi chercher un compte qui a le ZOF.
Zof customer. That is a test account.
OK?
d'accord.
OK.
Ça est là, j'ai trouvé.
Oui.
Non. Ce qu'il faut faire, mets ZOF,
Oui.
XOF, customer. XOF.
X O F.
F. Oui. CU.
Oui.
CU.
Espace, hein? C'est U.
Oui, CU.
C'est ça, non?
Non, c'est pas ça. CU. Non, ZOF. Vous avez vu ZOF.
Oui.
Continuez avec CU.
No space.
Non, même nom. Un nom. Il faut fermer
hein?
l'espace. Il faut fermer, c'est collé.
Ok.
C'est collé.
C'est U comme ça. Oui, ça est là. Continue.
Okay, brother Mbi, let me give him the number. Je te donne le numéro.
Non,
second.
he has it. He has it.
Okay.
Allez.
Donc maintenant, il faut mettre
Oui.
le montant 10 francs, par exemple. Mets 10 pour le montant. 10. Bien.
Oui,
Et
10,
voilà. Brother Mbi, you see where it says transaction type?
Yeah, that's exactly where. Donc, vous descendez, vous suivez la flèche, vous voyez la flèche là. La flèche là, troisième ligne. Troisième ligne.
Ah, là, ok. Oui.
Il faut aller jusqu'au bout, à droite.
Voilà.
Paiement.
Zof paiement. C'est ça.
Oui, Zof paiement, oui, c'est ça. Et mets le mot de passe, and see, what we wanted to show there is just the fact that where the local currency component is implemented, then you need to choose which payment type you want to make, whether that's in the local currency or in Lumi. Okay.
In AKL. Yeah.
In AKL. If you were to choose AKL, then you obviously put the amount in AKL. If it's in ZOF, then you put the amount in ZOF, right?
ZOF.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I do have an account with some AKL in it. So why don't you choose AKL and I'll give you the password?
You see, I think it's fine. I don't think we need to go into the password.
All right. Okay, that's fine.
Right now, yeah, I think it's fine. The whole idea is that we have shown how you can execute a payment with ZOF, how you can request a payment, with AKL, how you can request a payment with AKL, and now how you can make a payment or request a payment in a local currency that has been implemented on the system.
Right.
And that's it. It's available, it's ready. As we also move into other countries and do the local currency implementation, it would also be available to the members who are in that country.
The other thing that is important to add, Brother B, is that once you enter the SWIFT ID, the system already knows the kind of payment that account is allowed to make to that particular merchant or that particular member. Okay, so let's say TNO logs in and we have implemented the local currency in Nigeria. Because TNO is not in Nigeria and would not be able to transact in Nigerian Naira from Senegal, he would only be given the option for an AKL payment, which is possible all across the globe. But if another customer in Senegal were to present their SWIFT ID, then that is when you would have these two options to collect a payment, either in the local currency or in AKL. Okay, the system would recognize that automatically. For example, I can give you, is there anybody in the audience, Sister Emma, for example, is there anybody in the audience who wants to give their SWIFT ID for TNO to check?
Yes, I can give my own.
Okay, very good. So just read out the SWIFT ID for TNO to enter. TNO, il faut supprimer le numéro de compte. Supprimer ça. Non, supprimer seulement. Effacer, bien. Let somebody give TNO his SWIFT ID, his or her SWIFT ID, please.
I send my own on chat.
Okay. Okay. Paul vient d'envoyer et son numéro c'est 40 61 40 61 72
Oui.
40 61 72 56. Non.
C'est déconnecté, hein, ça pense.
Ok. Ouais, il faut mettre votre.
Yeah, if there is no activity, it kicks you out after I think it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, for security reasons.
For security, yes.
Okay.
Is it 40?
40 61 72
72. C'est quel nom?
56.
56. Ce monsieur-là. À qui Gilles?
Oui, Paul.
Yes.
Exactement.
Okay, you see here, there is no option for a payment type because the system already knows that the only possible transaction that Akige can make to TNO is in AKL.
Exactly.
because they are in different currency zones. TNO in the ZOF zone and Akige in the Nigerian Naira zone. Now, admittedly, Akige's account at the moment is not provisioned for Nigerian Naira transactions. But when it does, even then, because TNO doesn't have the Nigerian Naira service, the only instrument that he'll be able to exchange between the two of them would be the Lumi. But Akige on his own in Nigeria would have access to Nigerian Naira and the Lumi, and TNO on his own in Senegal would have access to both the West African franc CFA and the Lumi, the singular instrument of exchange that is available to everybody across the various markets would be the Lumi in this case. Now, there is another account that many people will see when they log into their account, and that is GBX. GBX, with all intents and purposes, is intended to represent Great British Pound. So at some point in the near future, we are going to introduce international remittances, which means that you could use that GBX component where you can actually put money in and send that money around whenever you want. And if you then want to take that GBX out, you can specify a bank account or a mobile money account, and that can be deposited straight into that without any delay. Okay, but these are things to come. So whatever you see on your account is there for a reason. I think that is it, Brother B, in terms of what we need to go through today. I think it's a good time to have a look at questions and answers.
Are you starting now, Dr. Linus? There's one question, and that's from Akige.
Yes, we can start straight away. Yes.
Akige, unmute and go ahead, please. Akige, are you hearing us? Please unmute and go ahead.
Okay, greetings to everyone.
Greetings.
Mine is not much a question. I have already tapped it on the chat. I don't know what is happening on my account. I clear my cache and updated my account to 100% on Connect, but I can't log in. I don't know why. I tried to submit a ticket, to raise a ticket, but it won't open. So I don't know what is happening. To log into my Sufin account, I cannot, but on Connect, I will log in. Even in my Sufin mailbox, I cannot log in. Over 2 weeks ago.
All right. Why don't are you able to share your screen, Akige, so we can see what's happening? Do you want to do that?
Okay. Let me do it.
All right. Tieno, merci beaucoup. Tu peux terminer, partager ton écran pour le moment.
D'accord. Bon. Merci.
So Akige, if you are able to share your screen, then we can take a look at what's happening. If you want to do that, that would be great.
Okay.
While Akige is trying to share his screen, of course, when making payments on the POS, never disclose your password to the merchant or to the person receiving the payment. You have to take the device from them, and you have to check the amount. You have to check the transaction type. Make sure that it's AKL if your intention is to pay AKL. If you are in a local currency zone that has been activated, make sure that that is the currency that is selected and nothing else. Check the amount and then enter the password yourself and submit. Don't ever disclose your password to somebody else. It is important to emphasize that your password remains the secret key to your account. Do not disclose it to anybody. If you want to make a payment to a merchant and they say, give them your password, don't. Okay, so yeah, I see. All right. I see what's happening, Paul.
Okay.
Okay, I see what's happening. I see what's happening. I think I know what's happening. I know what's going on. All I would suggest you do is it might take, the system might take a few minutes to let you in. Please just be patient and just wait, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
I will explain why. Please enter your username or email address. You will. Oh, you've decided to reset your password?
No.
You want to reset your password?
No. It's a mistake.
It's a mistake. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay. Let me use this opportunity to talk about something which Brother Mb, do we still have Brother Mb on?
His mic is muted.
He's muted. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just going to look for there is a diagram which I want to share just to show what's going on.
Hey, should I stop sharing my?
Yes, you can stop sharing your screen. When that happens, please just wait, okay? Just wait. Just wait. I'm going to share my screen and just show a certain diagram so that I can talk through it.
I'm trying to stop sharing.
Edie. Yeah. All right. There is something that we've noticed that goes on, right? I mean, not everybody. Can everybody see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay, let me try and share again. Just 1 second. No, you can. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see?
Yes, we're seeing it now.
You can see it now. Okay. The reality is that it's not everybody who is trying to access our systems for good reasons. Okay. This is based on data. This is based on what is happening live. This is based on what we see. So we have implemented some security protocols that are stopping certain people or certain access from certain areas are being blocked. But if that happens, please just be patient. Don't worry, don't panic, just try again. I'll explain why. There is something they call a DOS attack, which somebody who wants to see your service not perform well and who wants to make it difficult for others to access your platform, they can create bots and they will just keep firing bots into your platform and trying to behave as though they are real users who want to access the system. Now, if you don't have a way of blocking that kind of traffic, what happens is they consume your resources, and when real users want to access the system, they can't. It becomes very slow. I'm sure you will have noticed this a few times. And so recently, we increased the way that we track that kind of behavior. The line that you see in red is the number of attempts to access the system that are blocked. Okay, the system automatically blocks them. And in green is the number of requests that are allowed through. Now, what that tells us is that, of course, all our traffic is HTTPS, is secure. But as you can see from here, there is, I would say, approximately 30% of the traffic that is coming in, which is, with all intents and purposes, could be classified as malicious. And so we have put in systems and infrastructure to identify that traffic and block it. Now, unfortunately, in the process of doing that, it might actually also block some genuine traffic. So please, if you try to access the system and you get blocked and you can't access it, don't worry. Take a coffee, take a break, and try again. It is very important that we do this, because if we don't do this, then people who don't like to see our service perform well will try to attack it using this kind of attempts or this kind of technology, one of which is called DOS attacks, or denial of service attacks, where basically they can send 1 million computers or 1 million bots trying to access your system, so that when a normal user wants to access it, they can't. Okay, it's called denial of service. It happens all the time. We are not the only people who are susceptible to this. Most of the internet is susceptible to this. Most financial institutions are susceptible to this. What happens is they do the fighting in the background and they keep it in the background. But we are bringing this to your attention just so you know that these checks are being put in place, and sometimes it might impact a real person trying to access the service. If it does, we can only apologize and say, sorry, just try again. But as you can see, about 30% of traffic is currently being blocked and being denied access. Okay, and I would say about 60% is being led through. This is maybe over the last, just over the last hour or so, last few hours or so. But that summary goes back, the summary data goes back to a few days, from the 29th of March. So over the last 5 days, as you can see. Okay.
Are you there, Dr. Linus?
All around the world, they just handle this automatically and in a very intelligent manner based on traffic. Not just you, but other people around where you are who may be attempting to access the point of presence near where you are, okay? So it may have nothing to do with your own account or your own access individually, but you may be affected in the sense that traffic from where you are could potentially be blocked, okay? And so this also goes to say that because on the system, for example, if you make a friend request, you get some, in fact, we've taken that down. If you posted a comment, you get rewarded. We don't want people posting nonsense and expecting to get rewarded. I mean, that'll be classified as, okay? So again, the system will track behavior like that, and it may then stop you from gaining access. Okay. All right. So I hope that explains it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Brother B, you're back. I think Brother B got disconnected. We can move on to the next question, Sister
Yes,
Audrey.
we have the last two. Sister Emma, unmute and go ahead, please. Sister Emma? Okay, maybe she fell off.
Okay,
too.
okay.
You're
Good
there?
evening, everyone. Dr.
evening.
Linus, mine is just a testimony
Yes.
because through dPOS, I received like more than 12 Lumi smoothly. It just worked like Transact.
Very good.
Yeah, it's so smooth.
Very good. Thank you very much. And for everybody's information, Sister Emma runs a restaurant in Kenya, and she accepts Lumi in her restaurant. So if you are in Kenya, in Nairobi, and you want to have a meal with your Lumi, head straight to Sister Emma's kitchen.
Yes,
Sister
but,
Emma, you want to talk about that very quickly?
Yes, but I don't exchange local currency. I don't exchange Lumi to local currency. I only accept in buy goods and services.
Very good. So if you want to buy a plate of food, you can go there and pay in Lumi. And Sister Emma receives, I think if your plate of food is 2,000 shillings, you can pay 1,000 Kenyan shillings and then pay something like 0.75 Lumi or whatever the equivalent is in Lumi for the other 1,000, which is very, very efficient. Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We move on to Boniface Joseph's, the last hand, Dr. Linus, last person.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. A well done job to the manning body of this organization. We are making progress. I have what I say. While mine is a complaint, I want you to show maybe in the platform how to track the transaction history of you transferring AKL to your Transact, because I did a transaction. I can't find any way to trace the history, and almost 4 days or thereabout now, the Lumi has not hit my Transact account. So that's my own take this evening.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. What we always say is that when you are making a transfer from your Swift account into Transact, that transfer is subject to verification and approval. You get that when you submit the request. So this is what actually happens. You submit the request, it goes to our transactions processing team, which is an independent team. They would check your Transact account and make sure that you have your KYC updated. And if your KYC is not updated, that transaction will be declined. You will then receive a message telling you that your transaction has been declined. Now, if your KYC is up to date, they will still check it anyway, and they will make sure that the account from which the Lumi is coming from is your account, because you can only do transfers from your own account into your own account. You cannot do a transfer to somebody else's account.
Yes.
Now, if they've checked and everything is okay, then they will approve the transaction. And again, you will receive notification that the transaction has been processed. I can check for you. If you want to give your Swift ID, I can have a quick look, if that's all right.
Okay,
and then
sir.
I can show you the status of what it is.
Okay, sir. I'll drop the Sanunku, sorry. I'm dropping the Swift ID on the, I've dropped it on the chat.
You've dropped it on the chat. Okay, I'm using my phone, so I need to figure out how to pick it up from the chat. Just 1 second. that. Okay, I can see it. It might. Okay, that's fine. I think I can use it from there. Just bear with me one moment, please.
No trouble.
I have to fiddle with my phone because I'm using my phone. Just 1 second. All right. 6. Boniface Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Transfers to transact. Okay. Yeah, I can see here that your transaction actually, when did you say you made the transfer?
4 days ago, thereabout, or more, Let me check whether I can see the receipt because I screenshotted the receipt.
All right.
I can't lay my hands on the receipt.
I mean, I can see one transaction. Have you ever successfully completed a transfer?
Yes.
You have, because
Yes.
I could see one that was done in October last year.
Yes, we were in a meeting like this. The very day we tried transaction using that, the day, oh my God, one other account like that. It was in a meeting like this, basically.
Okay.
So yes, and Brother Imbi okayed it. That was the day you people created free sweeping mails for us. I was one of the persons.
All right, you were one of the beneficiaries of the free Swift mailbox, yes.
Yes, in one of the meetings last year.
All right.
I think that was done before my KYC was okay, it was passed. So but this time around, I tried doing the transaction. They said my KYC is yet to be approved. I did it again, then alerted them, and they sent a message that my KYC has been approved, so I can go ahead to do a transaction.
Yeah, I can see the transaction you were saying that you submitted was on the 31st of March.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen it. It is there. Unfortunately, it still says that it's pending authorization.
Okay.
And there is nothing I can do about that. It's handled by the transactions team, so they will take a look at it.
No, there's no trouble. My point is that how I wish there should be a way the client, or which language am I supposed to use now? One who is carrying out the transaction should be able to track the progress of the transaction. That is just my stand.
Oh, yes,
just like
you
in the
can.
way you
can do that. You can do that. If you log into your account, you will have received notification that you have a transaction that is pending authorization.
Okay.
And so you can go back to that transaction and look at the status at any time, and you will be able to see yourself that it is actually pending authorization.
Okay.
You can do that. Do you want to share your screen and log in?
Yes, sir.
You want to log into your account and share your screen? Perhaps we can guide you.
No trouble. Let me do that.
All right.
Are you seeing my screen?
It's coming up.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go to oh, it says a pending payment has been denied. Can you see that?
No, sir.
Okay, on the messages, scroll down, scroll, okay. You see the third message from the top?
Okay, pending payment has been denied.
So which one is
Okay.
that?
Let me
So
check.
click on that, open it.
Okay.
A payment submitted at that was denied.
Yes, this was the last before, the first before the last one I did.
Okay, and
Yes.
then okay, then go back. So that's how you get notified. So everybody gets notified when
Okay.
there is a
Okay.
transaction.
Okay.
So if you go back again, go back to the top of the screen, and then click on account. Let's just see what options are there. Member payment,
Okay, account information, schedule payments.
Schedule payments. It wouldn't be under schedule payments. Once you
Invoices.
submit the payment, well, I mean, it would show up under your account information as a payment that has gone out waiting for authorization. But I can understand you might not want to share your account information screen here. So that's fine, but that's where to check. And also on the messages. On the date that you will have submitted the request, you should have received a message on the same day saying that a payment that you have submitted is pending approval.
Okay.
And you should be able to click on the link to follow through and see the status of that transaction at any time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes.
You can stop
Dr.
sharing your
Magnus?
screen. That's fine. Yes.
Are you through with, is he satisfied?
Oh, just hold on. Click on, oh, that's fine. It's done. That's fine.
Okay.
I hope that helps you and you're happy with that.
I'm very okay, sir.
Yeah. Also, another quick way to access the information. You see where it says you have 12 unread messages?
Yes, yes.
When you log into your account, every time you log into your account, that's the first place you should go. Click on those unread messages. It will tell you something about what's going on with either as a request you've submitted or something like that. So click on it.
Okay.
It should take you to those messages, and you can see which ones you need to attend to.
It's all right.
All right.
Sir.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. Okay, I can see four more hands are up. I think what we may have to do
because Boniface was the fourth. You have 3 additional hands.
Yes, Sister Audrey, I think what we need to do is move those to tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we have overshot by 25 minutes already. I know we started at late, but we have overshot by about 25 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
So,
may I ask those who are holding their hands, Mr. Ruddock?
I'm sorry, my one is an emergency, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I've been trying to purchase a bundle of mailbox since Monday.
Yes.
$1,569. So I
okay,
cannot.
share your screen. Can you share your screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. We've talked about this a few times. There is a coupon that you need to click to discount it if you're paying with a card.
No, I'm using. I purchased already and it went through, but this time I'm having a serious issue. So this is what. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. So this is what is happening.
All right. Click on proceed. Don't worry. Click on proceed.
When I try to check out, so I click on proceed.
Yes. Yeah. That price puts people off, but there is a coupon. There is a coupon that gets applied either automatically or you have to just click on it to apply it. Now scroll down. You see that on the top left?
Yes.
Scroll up again.
What am I to look for?
No, just scroll up, scroll up. You see that coupon which says 90% off?
90%, yes.
Available coupons, click on the coupon to use it. So to take 90% of that price, all you
Yes.
have to do is click that coupon.
Okay. So should I go ahead and click?
Click it, yes.
All right.
Okay, now scroll down and look at the price.
Okay, I'm seeing
$159. That's for 10. If you want to pay just $1, then you need to buy a minimum of 100, and that'll be $100. So
no, what
yes?
what I'm purchasing is a 10 bundle of 10, and I pay 10 AKLX and 10 US dollars. That's the one that I'm trying to purchase.
Yes, in this particular case, if you are there is a slight change in the way they are offered. If you want to buy just 10,
yes,
then I think the price is $10 and
yes.
10 is it $10 and 10 Lumi? That's 10 per box. That's
Right.
10 per box. That's
Right.
10 per mailbox.
Right. So that's what I paid
10
the last 10
okay.
AKX.
A single, you see where it says AKX?
Yes.
The price is 10 Lumi. It's 10 Lumi per mailbox, right?
Right. Okay.
If you're buying a single, it's 20. If you're buying 10 or more, it's 10. But if you are paying in US dollars, then you have to pay $159. Now, if you want to buy in such a way that the cost is 1 Lumi plus $1, then you have to buy the bundle of 100, sorry, the mega bundle of 100.
Okay.
And that is actually cheaper for you.
Okay.
But you get 100.
So we can no longer purchase 10 for that money?
Well, you can if you want, but it's actually more expensive for you. Why do you want to do that?
No, because the last time I purchased, I paid 10 US dollars plus 10 AKX, and that was a total of 20. 10
That's
AKX.
right. And people in the community said that they would want to be able to pay in Lumi completely, and we implemented this possibility to pay even the $10 component. When you are getting a bundle of 10, you can still pay this in Lumi if you have the AKX in your account.
Yes, I have AKX.
Right.
I wanted to pay 10 AKX plus 10 US dollars because I'm using my card to pay the $10, 10 US dollars.
Yeah, that option is not available for the bundle of 10. If you're getting 10 and you're paying US dollars, it's 159. If you want to pay and get $1 and 1 Lumi, then you need to get a minimum of 100. So go back and add 100. Select the mega. You see, in this particular case, you're either paying in AKX or in Lumi, or you're paying in US dollars. So the total payment is in US dollars. If you get a bundle of 10, you can pay 159, and that's all in US dollars. You don't have to have AKX to pay for 10. You can pay either completely in Lumi or completely in US dollars. If you want to pay a combination, then the product that you want is a mailbox mega. Click on the mega.
Okay, mega. I'm seeing mailbox single, mailbox. Okay, this one, mega.
So single, you can pay either completely in Lumi or completely in US dollars. It's your choice, not both.
Okay.
To pay both, that is the product. That is the one you have to get.
Okay.
Now, if you add that to your cart,
I see if I add to cart.
yes. And then once it's added to the card, let's just have a look. Now remove the bundle. If you see on the left hand side, there is a, yeah, you would see the coupon that you need to apply. Now you see where it says earn minus 100 AKX. So this one will cost you minus 100 AKX and $100, which is equivalent to $1. No. The minimum in this particular bundle is
100.
Yeah, you can't. So this is the one that gives you the equivalent of $1 and 1 Lumi. So the total there in US dollars is 100, and it will also deduct 100 AKX from your account.
Okay, right. Okay, that's the one I use. All right, but that is no longer available.
The other one is not available, no.
Okay.
But you can buy individually. If you just want to buy individually for 20 AKX or 20 Lumi. Or if you want to buy 10, then you get a 50% off. So instead of paying 20 Lumi, you're paying 10 Lumi per mailbox. But if you really want the discounted one that is meant for distribution across the community, which is one US dollar and 1 AKX, then this is the bundle. This is the mega bundle that you get. This is the only one that is priced at one US dollar and 1 Lumi. Okay. So here, where it says earn minus 100, it means the system will automatically charge you 100 AKX, and you then have to pay $100 total in order to get a spreadsheet of 100 names. Okay. Now, if you are dealing with this and the coupon, you see where it says mega box mega coupon, mailbox mega coupon. If that is not applied to your account and it says 1,000 whatever, don't worry, just remove it. But that is only applied if you're paying with a bank card. If you're not paying with a bank card and you select pay with AKX, the system will automatically remove the coupon from the order.
Okay. All right. How do you said, can you remind me how you get paid, like buy 20 and get 50% discount?
The only two products, the bundle, the bundle 50% off the price of a single, and you can buy a minimum of 10 in a bundle.
Okay.
Yeah. But remember, it's 10 Lumi per mailbox.
Okay.
You can either pay that 10 Lumi per mailbox, equivalent in US dollars, or in AKX.
Okay.
How much AKX do you have in your account?
I have about 55 or 58, somewhere about there.
You have 58.
Yes.
As
I explained, I bought a bungle recently.
All right. Okay. 58. I think you need to buy 10, you would need 100, right? If it's 10 AKX each. But then that's all you would have to pay.
Okay.
There's no US dollar involved, just AKX.
Okay. All right. So, okay. 10 for 100 AKX.
So
right,
go to the product and just read what it says. What does it say? So go back to the mailbox where it says mailbox and select a product.
All right. So we'll select
bundle, for example.
All right.
Yeah, just select that.
Yeah, by mailbox bundle. Yeah.
Yes, click that. Now it says you pay 10 AKX per mailbox.
Right. Okay.
And this one you can retail for up to 20 AKX, but you have to pay the full amount in AKX.
Okay.
Right? The other one, which is the mega, you're paying 1 AKX plus 1 US dollar. That's the difference.
Okay. Oh, everything has changed. All right. That's why we said early bird. Okay. It's always good to be early.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So at first that deal was like a promotion, right?
Yes. I mean, if this is confusing, then we will change it and make it much simpler. But the reason we did it like that is people were saying, well, if I want to buy 10, I want to be able to pay all the 10 in Lumi. What if I don't have US dollars? And that's why we changed it and introduced the bundle where you can either pay in US dollars or you pay in Lumi.
Okay.
But you can't have both. The only place where you can get both is if you buy 100, and that is for $1 and 1 Lumi. That is in fact the cheapest option. Because if you were to buy 10 mailboxes and you were paying in US dollars, then you probably pay $159, right?
Yes, right. Okay.
But you can get 100 for $100, so it's cheaper actually.
Yes.
And the 100 AKX, you don't actually have to have it in your account at that particular time. If you don't have it, the system will advance you an overdraft so that when you earn more AKX, it will just take it. You don't actually have to have it in your account.
Okay, I'm thinking. I remember the last time where after buying the bungalow, you have 28 days to get rid of them. How long if you buy?
No, it's not like that anymore.
100.
Now, yes, it's not like that anymore. Remember, we started off and we were issuing coupons so that somebody can use one of those coupons to come and buy a single box.
Okay.
But then we had the issue where some people were not passing them on quickly enough.
Yes.
And the coupons were getting expired.
Okay.
So we scrapped it. We don't want any coupons to expire. And so we no longer do coupons. Now, what happens when you place your order is you will receive a spreadsheet that you need to complete.
Okay.
You will have access to that spreadsheet. The transactions team will have access to the spreadsheet. And as you complete it and fill the names in, they will actually create the mailboxes for you immediately. And once the order is completed and filled, you just need to go back to the spreadsheet and you will see all the email addresses and all the passwords that you need to then allocate to each of the users.
But if I should purchase 100, I would not have 100 names at this point. And when I would purchase a 10, I could easily submit 10 names. So what would I do if I should submit 10 names out of the 100? And how would that be that better?
Okay, if you buy the bundle for 100, the mega, then you get a spreadsheet with a limit of 100. Right. And you can fill in that spreadsheet whenever you want. If it takes you a year to complete it,
sounds good.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
But it is better to fill it up as soon as you can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Another question. If I'm short of AKX, can AKX from another account be transferred to can somebody transfer AKX to my account?
Yes. Yes.
How do we go about transferring the AKX?
All right. Okay. Very good. Go to Connect on the top menu.
Yeah.
Just scroll up to the main menu.
Go to Connect.
Right. Yes. And then scroll down and until you get to the menu item where it says Pay. No, it's under Connect. Under Connect, there is a menu item which says Pay.
Okay. Oh, I'm not getting it.
All right. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What you should do is in the URL bar, just do connect.swiffen.com/pay.
I know where it is though, but I'm trying to. Let me close something here.
You can zoom out of your screen and make it so that it's more visible. Yep, I think that might.
Okay. Mailbox Connect.
Yes. There you go.
Okay. So I click on Pay.
Yeah, click on Pay, please. Now, what I could do is I could log into my Connect and I can send you, if you scroll down, yeah, you can just type the name of the person that you want to send the AKX to.
Yes, okay.
For example, let me log in. And so what you do is you see that form, scroll up again. Yeah, there you go. Where it says recipient, you need to enter their connect username.
Okay.
It's only the username that works.
Okay.
So what is your username? Let me send you some AKX so you can see.
Okay, I'll be V Roddock.
Just 1 second, please. I need to log in first. Just 1 second.
Okay.
If it lets me log in quickly enough. So basically, you would enter the username there.
Okay.
In my case, if you wanted to send me AKX, you would type LETUBE because that's my username.
Yes.
Where it says recipient.
Okay.
Type LETUBE.
N.
L for Lima.
Oh, L. Capital L or common, it doesn't
No,
matter?
no, it doesn't matter.
All right.
LETUBE.
LETUBE.
Yes. There you go. That is the first name on the list. Just select it.
Yes.
Select it. Select it.
Okay.
That's it. And then you enter the amount. Put 1 AKX, for example.
1.
Yes. And then make sure that AKX is selected. If you want to put a message, you can put a message.
Okay.
If you want. If you don't want to put a message, that's okay. And then you click on transfer.
I said loan and I said.
Okay. Then transfer. That's it.
Okay. Connect system says transfer completed. Oh.
That's it. It's done. That's how simple it is.
That's ABC. Okay, but it's to know. The important thing is to know. All right. Okay.
I'm struggling to log in myself for some reason. But if I was able to log in, then I can transfer. I will send the AKX back to you. I'll send you double the amount back.
No problem. No problem.
But that's how easy it is to transfer AKX, so that somebody else can use it to do shopping online.
Yeah, what you have just taught us is worth more than 1 AKX. So, all right, so this is where we go to the, all right, so we transfer it, and then afterward, I'll pay 100 AKX for 100 mailboxes.
$100
plus
100 AKX for 100 mailboxes.
Okay, okay. By going to the mega, let's say it is a mega.
Yes, you have to use the mega, yes.
Mega, okay.
Click OK to get that window to disappear first. All right, so Sister Audrey, I hope this was also useful to everyone else. So we can come to a close now. Brother Roddock.
Yes.
I hope that answers your question.
Very much. well received, Dr. Linus. I'm grateful.
All right.
So
wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Okay. So I think we should bring this to a close. My most sincere apologies if we didn't get to answer any other questions this evening. I would suggest we move those to tomorrow. And hopefully the session was informative to many of us this evening. We remain on our journey of ensuring that there is equitable access for all, and that we can use a common instrument to exchange value in real time in a way that no one should be left out. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sister Audrey?
I'm here, Dr. Linus.
All right, wonderful. Did you have anything else to add? And then we just close.
Most interestingly, what you presented this evening, the dPOS.
Yes.
And it's a fantastic way forward.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
We can't lose with what is happening. We have so many options. You don't have to have the thing. You can use somebody else's phone. Point of sale, you can just show your ID when you're using the person, or the merchant can verify by what you present. It's easy, accessible, and it's the way forward. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for what you presented, what you've confirmed in just showing Mr. Ruddock. For many who may not have known the additional aspects of what PAY can be used for. Thank you again for that.
Thank you.
I'm sure many have learned or relearned what they knew before. Thank you, Dr. Linus. And thanks for who on the platform and would have had the experience and additional knowledge. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you. And for those in Jamaica, you can either use Transact when you are doing your shopping in the farmer's market to exchange values if you want to enter the values in Jamaican dollars, or you use the dPOS. The merchants should be using the dPOS because with that, it is much quicker to process payments. People don't have to have their smartphone. They don't have to log into their own accounts. They just have to give their name and enter their password to complete a payment. It is very, very efficient. Cardless. So we are taking the traditional model of using cards to make payments to cardless. You don't actually need a card at all. You don't even need a phone either, but you can still participate and make your payments and be part of the new digital economy. That's how transformative what we are doing is. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thanks and good evening, everyone. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
It was wonderful indeed. Thank you so much.
Good evening for everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Good
Night,
night.
Dr. Linus.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. I will have so many questions to ask.
Good night, family.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Good to be here. See you again tomorrow.
Good night.
Okay, good night, everyone. I'm ending the meeting now. Thank you very much.